Yeah, just a quick review of the Bullseye thumb brace. So basically, this is made specifically to immobilize your thumb, as you can see. Particularly the lower joint here is going to be immobilized, the CMC or carpometacarpal joint. A lot of people have arthritis down there, which is also called CMC joint arthritis. So the idea behind this is, it supports the joint and it restricts its motion. So that way you can, rest, recover, and not overstress it. So if you have an existing thumb problem, the brace can help you because it will rest the joint and you'll have less pain if it's not moving. Or it can actually prevent a problem. If, like, say you've had a problem with your thumb in the past, and you have, like this weekend, hey, I have to move or something, and you just want to keep from overstressing it, it's good for that. So it goes for good for treatment and prevention. So a few points about this particular brace. This is one of the more interesting ones that restricts the motion down here. A lot of these CMC joint braces, I'm finding a lot of them are like minimal designs, just kind of a ring around here. This one has a little bit more than that. It's kind of a moderate amount of support. It has two adjustments, which is interesting, which I haven't seen in a brace yet. There's like two shoestrings here, and basically what you do is this comes up, it's Velcro, and then you tighten it across and Velcro it down again. So you get as tight as you want on the wrist area around here. The other thing, which is rather interesting, to immobilize the CMC joint, there's another thing here that goes around. So this piece actually starts here and it wraps around the thumb, and you get support that way, and you can adjust the level of tightness that you want. So you can kind of customize it. That's really good. That's a pretty good stabilizer there of the CMC joint. Maybe not so much up here, the first one, but this lower one gives great stability, I think, with that kind of design. So permanent temporary relief, obviously the brace works best if you put it on. Problems is if you have something like CMC joint arthritis, lower thumb joint arthritis, and a lot of times it's a chronic condition. You can rest it, it feels good while you're in the splint. You take it off, sometimes you're back where you started. But there are actually other things you can do for the thumb and CMC joint arthritis. So as an example, I'll use this book, The Healthy Thumb Handbook. Really aren't too many good thumb books out there, actually. There's only a few that I know of. So if you have a problem with the joint, a lot of times people notice, but the muscles around the joint actually react to what's going on in the joint, and then they become irritated. So not only do you have joint pain, but another component of your pain could be muscular pain. Okay, muscular pain is a lot easier, I think, to get rid of. Muscles can develop these things called trigger points, or these irritable spots in the muscle. And so you can actually work those out through the massage techniques, and this shows you how to use a clip and everything to get rid of these trigger points. Sometimes you can actually have something like arthritic joint, and the joint really isn't giving you any problems, because you can have arthritis that doesn't give you any pain. That's been proven in studies. Asymptomatic, like knee arthritis, that kind of thing. But a lot of times the problem is really just the muscle. So good to iron out the muscular component of your pain and then see what's left. Other things you can do, if you do have CMC joint arthritis down here, your web space is at risk for getting tight, so it's always good to stretch out your web space. Also, distraction is really good for even aggravated joints or arthritic joints. They love being distracted. That's where you kind of pull on them a certain way and take pressure off the joint, kind of like those inversion tables where you hang upside down. It takes all the pressure off your back, the disc, and the tiny joints in your back too. So it's like a vacation for the joint. All the pressure's off, they can relax, recover, pain goes down. So there's a simple distraction technique you can use. Getting maximal thumb joint stability. So if you do have problems with the CMC joint, you might think, well, there's really nothing much I can do. But actually, muscular-wise, there is, besides ironing out trigger points. There's actually two muscles that stabilize that joint. One is called your abductor pollicis longus. You can see how that sucker attaches right there at the base of the thumb where all the problems are at. So this book advocates doing one exercise using a rubber band for resistance. So week by week, as you get your abductor pollicis stronger, you get better joint stability, and you get dynamic joint stability, meaning as you're using your thumb, you're actually can control the motion better, and get a lot more stability. More stability equals less pain. And the other muscle is the first dorsal interossei muscle. You can see it goes right there, attaches right where the problem's at. So these two exercises might take you 5 minutes a day total, and you only need to do them like 2, maybe 3 times a week. So it's a small investment. Like I say, week by week, as you get more stability, you get less pain. But yeah, nothing's quite as quick as putting on a brace, though. Very good one for stability. This is one of the more interesting ones I've seen, and I really kind of like that design there, where you can tighten it up around the joint. So yeah, it's a good brace. Check it out.